It's nothing more than a title for our lineage. Again, that's elementary argument. Again, I can prove to you, I've already shown that it's more than a lineage. A lineage does not have a lineage. There's no such thing as an identity without, in general, without some identity. And all identities have some social, political ideology or framing or some reason why it was created. And if you didn't repeat everything Tariq Nasheed said or other people, you know what I mean? Then I would say, okay, if somehow even there's no label that is absent of some political framing or understanding, or even the reason why it was developed in the first place is evidence that is more than the lineage. And then in fact to say that, see it's, even when you say African or African's not a lineage, it can be a lineage. You know what I mean? It may not be. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
African is absolutely can be a lineage, especially for those of us who find ourselves in the West that are an amalgamation of so many various aspects of Africa, which we can support scientifically. I'm going to tell you what they did. I'm going to tell you who I'm going to say he's wickedly con artistry. I don't even want to say wickedly wise. Wickedly con artistry. My man, our dear sick brother, Tariq, instead of saying our organization, he had to create a word that he doesn't have to say organization.
Right.
So he says our lineage. He says the lineage. He says the lineage has to do this. The lineage has to do that. So they use it like, now you just take and really insert lineage for organization or whatever it is. So listen here, our lineage ain't no cult. So now think about it. Our organization ain't no cult.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? See, Tariq is brilliant in that way that he uses the word lineage instead of our organization, our movement, sometimes things like that would point directly that he's a leader. So he says lineage instead of community, organization, so on and so forth. So they just supplant lineage for words.
And they parroted it back. Like, again, I'm like, lineage is descent from an ancestor. So, okay, yeah, your descent from an ancestor is not a cult, but your descent from an ancestor reaches back to Africa. You're an African. You're not a Nigerian. You're not a Tanzanian. You're an African American. You're an African in the West.
And if you want to switch it up and say you're an American African,
then you can
that's
do
like
that
a Nigerian African. You know what I mean? That's like and people say things like all types of stuff that doesn't exist. Well, the only, like, even in our own community, sometimes they say, well, there's no Chinese American.
Shabazz, break it down with the proper perspective. So much controversy and a lot of deception. You don't know who's coming through with the light and reflection, and whose mouth is mumbling, trick knowledge deceptive. Shabazz, break it down with the proper perspective. So